Hey everybody, it's Vic here, and I just wanted to give you a little update on the Coach's Corner and a little information on it for those who don't know about it. And I have to say that one of the main reasons for coming out with this video right now is because, I've been coaching a long time, and fortunately, I've had some good success with it in terms of seeing people really start to make that transition into consistent profitability. But it doesn't happen for everyone, and I have to tell you something. There are some very good reasons for that, and things that the successful people really have in common. And it's my mission to get as many people onto the winning side of the ledger as I possibly can. Because I'll tell you something, I was a futures broker for 5.5 years, and boy oh boy, I saw carnage at times like you wouldn't believe, because of a total lack of a solid plan, no risk management, no consistency, no nothing. And I just hate seeing people lose unnecessarily. I mean, look, we all know that losses are part of trading. I'm not telling you anything new there. But there are such a thing as good losses, and then there are bad losses, and you got to stay away from the bad losses. Now, oh, by the way, this is a disclaimer here about trading that, you could lose money. You can pause the video and read it. I don't care if you know this stuff already or you think you already have it figured out or whatever it is. The question is, are you doing anything about it? Knowing is useless without action. And one of the things that the Coach's Corner teaches are the skills that you need to take action. Does that make sense? I mean, my gosh, you don't have to look any further than a guy like Dave Deming, who just gave I got to tell you this, he gave a tremendously good talk at our Seattle workshop at the end of January. Dave figured out the necessary steps that you need to take in order to give yourself a chance. And I mean the necessary steps from a personal development point of view. He successfully integrated key components of personal development into not only his everyday life, but also into his trading approach, and it has made a huge difference. And I got to point to another Coach's Corner member that has really started to blossom, and it's a woman from the Netherlands in the Coach's Corner. Her name's Nettie, and she is just a shining example of the need to persevere. She didn't just give it a short time, like a couple of weeks or something, and then quit and say, oh, this doesn't work. She stayed with it. Hey, you know what? She went through her trials and tribulations that everybody goes through. I don't care who it is. And now she's seeing some nice, consistent results from a very, very simple trading approach. In fact, I'll tell you what she actually does. She just trades a couple of currency pairs. She only looks for VIC trades, also known as pattern number 6 in the Recurring Forex Patterns course, that are also slingshot or MOF setups. Okay, the slingshot MOFs are a tremendously good setup that we also show and teach in the Coach's Corner. I've done some video tutorials on them so you can learn them quite quickly. And I'll tell you, you know what, when you get a VIC trade or pattern 6, whatever you want to call it, that's also a slingshot or an MOF, that is a very, very good setup, and they happen very frequently. And you know what, just that one setup, that's all Nettie does. And boy, her results have just been, I show her trades in the Coach's Corner all the time. So I guess what I'm saying is that you got to be honest with yourself and say, am I getting the results I want, or could I use a little help and guidance? Listen, everybody needs a bit of help and guidance at some point in their lives, right? For all sorts of things. I think it's pretty obvious to most people that if you want to get good at something, what's the best way to do it? Surround yourself with people who are already doing what you want to do. Coaches, mentors, and that kind of thing, right? I've been running the Coach's Corner for coming up on 7 years now. Can you believe that? Some of you I've known for all that time. And I've absolutely loved it. And of course, I've had some real stars come out of the Coach's Corner. But one of the best, of course, has been Shirley Hudson. So here's something that you need to know. For the next 2 weeks, starting February the 18th, I'm going to be away, and Shirley's going to run the Coach's Corner on my behalf. And all I can say is what an opportunity to learn, to really learn about patterns from an absolute expert. You know that in last week's weekly trade example, I don't know if you guys see that, but if you do, you would have seen that I showed a trade that she took that resulted in a reward to risk of almost 9 to 1 in about an hour and a half, which, let me say right away, that was an uncommonly good move. Not that, okay, there's no question about that. But the point is this, she was there for it. It was a pattern. She saw it. She knew what to do, how to get a very high odds trade with extremely small relative risk. Today, which is Monday, February the 11th, as I'm recording this, she had a 5 to 1 risk reward on a Euro-Yen trade, and a 3.75 to 1 reward to risk on a Euro-US dollar trade. I mean, I'm telling you, she does this very, very frequently. And she had a couple other trades too, by the way, but they weren't as big reward to risk, but she'd had no losers once again. She is a real master at trading patterns, and you can come into the Coach's Corner and see exactly how she does it. And in fact, for the next couple of weeks, you can hear her talking exclusively and showing the trade setups and the reasoning behind them and all that kind of thing. And of course, she'll be there to help out the members and answer their questions and all that. I'll show you a couple of emails that I've received recently, and the people that have sent them have said that they're happy to share their comments with other people to tell them what they're in for. And look, I'm not trying to brag or boast or anything like that. Park your ego at the door. That's not what this is about. I'll tell you something. The Coach's Corner is not just about me, right? There are others in there who are such great role models as well. But I just want to give you a sense of how others feel about their experience with the Coach's Corner. This is from Sonu, and he says, I'm getting fantastic results after joining only 1 month of your Coach's Corner. Hiroshi, another great guy, says your Coach's Guide, recurring Forex patterns, and Coach's Corner have really changed my attitude towards Forex trading. I wish I had joined your club a long time ago. Your simple setups have made my trading much easier and more profitable. Here's Mike McGowan, another great member of ours, Coach's Corner member. And oh, well, yeah, this is in response. He sent me an email showing me a really good trade, and I thanked him for sending it to me. He says, no, Vic, my thanks is to you and the team at Coach's Corner. I've completely changed my focus to 1 to 2 pairs and patterns, and the psychology part has made such a difference. I know that a few months ago I would have pulled the trade a lot earlier. Now it's cool. I've just closed it for another 20 pips. Time to go home. I mean, I'll leave it at that, but I think do this. Think about where you're going through trading, what you want out of it, if you're getting it or not, and how you plan on getting onto a plan of attack that'll at least give yourself a fighting chance. I mean, the idea is that we show you how to fish, right? The important thing is that you learn to become an independent trader, an independent thinker, and a person who is very much in control of what they do on a daily basis. And you know what? That attitude will make a difference in everything you do. Here is information on the Coach's Corner. When you start off, if you've never been a member before, it's $149 for the first month only. You get 8 sessions per month, sometimes another extra session depending on how many Mondays and Thursdays. Because the Coach's Corner go at Mondays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and they're all recorded. So even if you're not there, you can get the recording. You can still send me questions, all that kind of stuff. And then after the first month, it drops way down, $97 a month, and that's it. $12 a session, a little more than that. And even if you quit the Coach's Corner and come back later, it's still $97 a month. So if you're a past CC member, $97. And you just go to this link right here, and you can get that right there. And then here's a link right here if you want to ask me some questions right here. You can just send it to info@forexmentor.com, and that's just fine. I will leave it at that. You can pause it and get this information down here if you want. And anyway, thanks so much for listening in. As I say, I'm going to be away for a few weeks, so if you have any questions, be sure to get them to me as soon as you're able. Because after Wednesday, I'm going to be off. This is Wednesday, February the 13th. I'm talking about. I'm going to be out of here and off for a little bit. But the Coach's Corner is going to be going strong, even with me away, because Shirley's going to be at the controls. And as I say, she's someone you really want to pay attention to. Okay. All right. There you go. Thanks so much for listening in. I appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the Coach's Corner. Alrighty? All the best. Take care.